I believe I am live. Let me make sure. Bear with me. I'm just looking for this to be showing up on my page. Come on. If you're watching, hello. Welcome. Why isn't this showing? Oh, there I am. All right, cool. Welcome today to PossibiliTV Live. I appreciate you for being here. Today we're going to be talking about what you take for granted and how it's keeping you stuck. And I am just going to go share this over on my Facebook group, which I would love for you to join if you'd like. This is for entrepreneurs, especially creative entrepreneurs, or not. I mean, you don't necessarily have to be, but it's really for people who really want to live life without limits. It's so cliche, but just really create your best life, right? And for most of, I mean, really as a business owner, and have it all. And really also, you know, it's called thriving in business and love. So it's not just about your business, but it's also about your personal life, your relationships, because it's all connected. And join me live. So let's dive in. I'm going to be talking today about how what you're taking for granted may be keeping you stuck and maybe preventing you from accomplishing your goals, breaking through new limits, that sort of thing. And there's a great quote from Thich Nhat Hanh, who is sorry, I'm just getting a call. A wonderful, he's a monk, and sorry, I'm just trying. Okay, here I am. All right, great quote from Thich Nhat Hanh. We are here to awaken from the illusion of separateness. And we have very many illusions. I mean, the idea is we're all connected, right? And when we can tap into that connection, we can really achieve our greatest possibilities. We can move forward more in our lives. And it's not just that sort of illusion of separateness, though, that we're under. We're under a lot of illusions, right? I mean, think about, you know, they believed the earth was flat, and the whole thing about the sun and the stars and the moon and the earth and what rotates around what. We do this to ourselves in our own lives, and we take for granted certain truths that are not actually true and that actually keep us small. So what I want to share with you is that there are three categories. I'm going to make this really quick today. There are three categories of things that you may be taking for granted that are keeping you small. So now give me a shout if you're here. I would love to hear from you. The first category is positive things that you're taking for granted that's keeping you stuck, that's keeping you small. And this is I see this all the time if a couple comes to see me, for example, because one partner may not realize that the other person cares about them. Actually, is how it might even come out. You know, we don't necessarily say the things we appreciate. This is also, you know, very bad for you in business. And I will raise my hand about being guilty of this in the past. And I'm sure it won't be the last time that this has happened. But, you know, the things that we accomplish sometimes we forget to celebrate. The successes that we have, we forget to appreciate. So there is a lot said about gratitude and appreciation. What you appreciate appreciates, and, you know, keeping a gratitude journal, paying attention, you know, really, really, really like noticing the things that are working really, really well and taking care of those. And really, I mean, that's one piece of this. And I think it's talked about a lot. So I'm going to skip that one. It's so important. I don't mean it's not important at all, but that's huge. The second part of things that you may be taking for granted, and I could pontificate and go on, but I'm going to try to keep this one limited. The second category is things that are not going well, things that are going negatively. So they get in your way when you take for granted that that's just how it is. That's just the way it is. Oh, that's just the way it is. Oh, you got to work hard, and oh, and nobody, that's another problem if there are things that aren't going as well as you'd like, and you take it for granted that that's just the way it is. Now, even negative things are not as dangerous as this next category, things that we take for granted, because with the negative things, there's usually, or there can be, a motivation to change them, right? Basically, if, something's going so badly, if, things really hit rock bottom, I mean, that's why you see so many people hit rock bottom and then they skyrocket, right? You don't have to hit rock bottom, but when there are negative things that are so bad that, maybe somebody has a wake up call with their health or something like that, that's another thing that is important to not take for granted. The last category, though, that I want to talk about for just a couple minutes is about the neutral things, the things that you don't necessarily notice, the things that are just the way of life, that are a certain way. That's just the way it is. That's just the way we are. That's just how it is. Those beliefs can set you up for total, it can stifle your potential, like big time. And we all need to be super meticulous in terms of thinking about those realities that we take for granted. Now, funny story, just because it's the holidays time, he's going to kill me if he hears it. He's not going to kill me, but I'll just share it with you. If anybody's watching, it might be his family. My dear husband, he and his family had a tradition 2 days before Christmas with another family called Christmas Adam. Adam's before Eve. December 23rd was always Christmas Adam. He was, I hope this is, give me a shout if you're here. If you're a Cadell, let me know. So he would get a call, or he was like working in an office. He was in his 20s, early 20s, but working, and it was December 23rd. And he said to his buddy, hey, happy Christmas, Adam. And his friend was like, what are you talking about? Like, what? And so he called up his mom and he's like, Mom, you didn't tell me that was fake. So that's like not really, that didn't really keep him, I mean, maybe it kept him limited in some ways. That obviously wasn't, a deal breaker. That's just kind of funny, right? How we sort of just hear these things growing up and we assume that that's just how it is. But little things that can actually limit how we see the world and limit how we work and be ourselves in the world can actually prevent us from stretching beyond those limitations. People dive in and then jump off, and they dive in and jump off. So that's what I want to share with you, is to really pay attention to those negative things or those associations that may hold you back, those things that you take for granted, that you take them so much for granted as reality that you don't even know what they are. I was just talking to somebody who had this association with, maybe didn't recognize it so much, but this association with, somebody who really wants to make more money, but there's an association with the relationship that, if the person that I'm, committed to isn't taking care of me, providing for me, they don't love me, sort of thing. And the idea is I can't possibly make money because then I'll never find out if they really show up for me in that way. That's sort of like a very kind of concise version of it, but there are lots of different things we have to peel apart. And if there's ever something that you truly desire, that you really want, if there's a goal that you have, and it's just no matter what you do, it's not coming to fruition, then I would ask you to ask yourself, what is the worst case scenario? What is the worst thing that would happen if this actually came true? What does this mean? Because underneath there may be these, subtle beliefs and stories that you have that you may be taking for granted that are ultimately keeping you small. So it's a personal process that everybody needs to go through to look at this stuff, because it's all personal. Some of it's universal, but anyway, that's what I got for you. If you're interested, give me a shout if you're here. Again, people are coming in and then running away, and maybe I'm scary. Ooh. I can't see who you are. But if you're interested in getting more connected, making these connections, because when you connect more deeply to yourself and you see things for how they are, you get more connected to what you really want, right? And when you do that, you can kind of, more effectively examine those things that you may be taking for granted that are preventing you from, getting to the next level, whatever that looks like for you. I want you to join me in the 12 days of connection, where I will be sharing with you the 12 areas, the 12 key areas, the 12 key connections you need to make if you're a creative entrepreneur, to really step it up, in 2017, because you know what? Enough already. It's time to step it up. So I will share a link in the comments for you to join. You'll get access to my beautiful, I made it this myself, my beautiful guide. I usually have somebody else do my ebooks and stuff like this, but this one's all me, so you can see my design skills, which are not to really. Anyway, I will stop that story about how I have no design skills. Okay. But you will pick up a guide immediately about the 12 key connections you need to master as a creative entrepreneur to really soar higher and skyrocket your success. Honestly, I think it's a work in progress for all of us. I certainly don't have them mastered myself, but I'm aware of them and growing and expanding and deepening with all of them. And I hope that you do too. So so that you can get that immediately. And then on December 8th, which is Thursday, we will be starting the 12 days of connections. So I hope that you'll join me. Like I said, I'll enter the comments, or I'll enter a link in the comments. If you're here, give me a shout. People are in and out. So, yay. Okay. I have more than one person here. This is fantastic. Now I feel like I need to repeat myself because people are actually watching. But I will say that what you take for granted may be keeping you stuck because you don't know what you take for granted, because it's your reality. And there are so many different associations we have to things and what they mean. So to really kind of hone in on that and get a little more connected to that, it's really key. I would love you to join me in the 12 days of connection. We start December 8th. You can find out now what those 12 key connections are that you need to master as a creative entrepreneur to skyrocket your success. I want to thank you for being here. If you have thoughts, questions, feedback, comments, let me know. I can't see anything right now. And that's it. All right. Thank you so much. And I will catch you next time. Now I have to figure out how to end this. I always forget. All right. Bye.